Hello, TW 514 members. This is Tracy Hart, and I'm here with the benefits team, and we're here to give you a little bit of insight and expectations for the open enrollment. Myself, George Albano, and Darren Morgan, we kind of go over a couple of highlights and hope this help you out going forward. One of the things I want to bring up is that open enrollment is yours. It is your opportunity to make changes that are affected by you and your family. So if things have happened over the last year, that maybe you had a little short-sighted on or something happened that your dynamics changed, this is the opportunity to make that change and that adjustment for 2026. Um, what is right for you? What is right for you and your family? You have an opportunity to talk with counselors who know a little bit more about insurance and a little more in depth and say, hey, this is what may be beneficial not only to yourself, but your family and also the rest of the people involved in your household. The open enrollment team for the TWU will be there from November 3rd to November 14th. That is, realize that this is a Friday and the open enrollment period actually goes to the 19th, but you'll have someone on site that be able to talk to you and walk you through that process. Where are they going to locate it at? If you know where the grievance office is at, it'll be right down the hall there. So come up to hangar 3 and 4, go down about another 100 feet. It'll be on the left-hand side. There will be also signs and arrows that'll be pointing to that location. Now, I want to remind people, this 2 weeks, that is 2 weeks for you to get everything taken care of and done. And just in case you make a mistake or something happens or changes or you made a choice, you can come back. So I would start early. I would start in that first week, try to get up there and talk to somebody. And then after that, if you have another change wants to come on the second week, you can get back in there. But don't wait till the very last week and that very last day and say, I'm going to get in there. And next thing you know, it's pretty full. Now, you may want to ask yourself, what are the hours? The hours are going to be 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. That means they go home at 6 p.m. Don't come there at 6 p.m. and say you want to try to get in. They're going to be leaving at 6 p.m. So it'll be open from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. for 2 weeks from the 3rd to the 14th. Another thing to think about is beneficiaries. We always talk about this throughout the whole year. Someone has made a change in a beneficiary. They didn't put a beneficiary down. Make sure you have the right beneficiary. This is the perfect time for you to start getting those names together. Some of us have had beneficiaries we've had in our lives for 10, 15 years, but those have changed. This is the perfect time to get the right person, the right information, get their names down, and say, hey, they're going to be that beneficiary for you in your account. With the changes that have gone on, you're going to see a lot of things happen. There are going to be increases to the plan, but one of the increases I want to make sure you're aware of is the dental. The dental has had a little bit of increase. It's only had a 5% increase, but it also covers more. It's going to be covering periodontal. It's going to have composite fillings instead of metal fillings and porcelain crowns, okay? So those things have made changes to the regular dental plan. Look at those enhancements. Check out those enhancements on JetNet. And also, if you have any more questions for this next 2 weeks from the 3rd to the 14th, come up there and talk to someone and we'll be able to help you out.
I'm going to talk about spending accounts. But first I want to touch on something, Tracy. One thing, if you are out on a leave of absence and you're off on payroll, you won't be able to pick your benefits and enroll right now. You will do that when you come back to work. All right, so spending accounts. Let's talk about, we have 3 different spending accounts to discuss. One is a health savings account, and that has a lot of tax advantages to it. But you have to only belong to the core medical plan to subscribe to that health savings account. And if you're an individual, you can contribute it tax-free up to $4,400 or $8,750 if you have a family. And if you're over 55, there's even an extra $1,000 catch-up for that. And it's all pre-tax savings. The second plan I'd like to talk about is a healthcare flexible spending account. So you can pick money from $120 to $3,400 for 2026. And that money is available to you on January 1st to use. If you want to use it all on January 2nd, your $3,400, you can. You just pay for it throughout the year. Now, you don't have to be in any medical plan. You can still have a healthcare flexible spending account. The next plan is called a health reimbursement arrangement account. And also it's the HRA and the RHRA work together. You have to be in the Medical Plus plan to take advantage of that. And you have a preventative care exam once a year annually. And American will contribute $500 to your HRA and $1,000 to your RHRA. Also, one thing also, while enrollment's open, you might want to consider a 1% increase on your 401k. We're getting a raise in January, so 1%, it can go a long way for your future retirement.
All right, I would like to talk a little bit about workers' comp. Workers' comp covers most employees from their very first day on the job. It pays for all necessary medical treatment. If you can't work, you'll receive about 70% of your average weekly rate, up to $1,083.43, which is a state maximum cap. If your injury causes a permanent disability, you may be entitled to additional compensation, and in tragic cases, families may receive death benefits. If you're injured on the job, you need to report that injury to your supervisor immediately. Your employer is required to provide medical treatment and file that claim. Depending on the nature of your injury, the company could send you to the premise right there on the base. If you're injured after hours, your supervisor should have a list of providers that you are allowed to go to. If benefits are denied, you can file appeals through the Oklahoma Workers' Compensation Commission. Most importantly, your employer cannot legally retaliate against you for filing a workers' comp claim. Workers' comp exists to help you recover and to get back on your feet. If you're injured at work, don't wait, report it immediately and get the treatment you need. Most of all, know your surroundings, be aware of others and work going on around you, and be safe out there and take care of you and each other.
And so this is what I want to kind of stress for 514 members. Insurance can be kind of complicated. We're here, all three of us here, to try to make it simple as possible. We may not have all the answers, and I'm not going to say we have all the answers, but we have a way to get the answers that you may run into. And sometimes the system can be complicated, or even just trying to get a hold of someone. Each one of us, we have resources, we have contacts. We want you to, if you do get into a roadblock, give us a call. You have our numbers, you know where we're located at, and we're going to try to make this a seamless enrollment period as possible. Thank you very much. And on behalf of your benefits team at 514, stay in touch.